3 days ago, the US government told OpenAI who was allowed to use GPT 5.6. Today, that model is still locked to 20 companies, and there is now an executive order explaining exactly why. Welcome back to BizThriveAI Daily News. I'm your host, and today is Sunday, the 29th of June, 2026. The AI Engineer World's Fair just kicked off in San Francisco. A Nobel Laureate switched labs, and the first state AI law in America was gutted before it could even take effect. 7 stories, all business relevant. Let's get into it. The AI Engineer World's Fair 2026 opens today at Moscone West in San Francisco, and it runs through July the 2nd. This is the largest technical AI conference in the world. 6,000 engineers, founders, and VPs of AI, 300 speakers across 29 parallel tracks. What makes this event different from other AI conferences is the audience. This is not a corporate keynote event. It is built for builders, software engineers, ML engineers, data scientists, and technical founders who are actively shipping AI applications. Every year, this event sets the tone for which tools, frameworks, and approaches the AI engineering community adopts for the following 6 months. Major product launches are expected throughout the week, and the announcements that land here tend to move quickly from conference demo to production deployment. If you are building with AI or evaluating AI tools for your business, pay close attention to what ships from San Francisco this week. The frameworks and products announced here will define your options for the rest of 2026. 3 days after launch, GPT 5.6 Sol remains locked to approximately 20 government-approved organizations. There is no public waitlist. There is no ChatGPT access. The model is available only through the Developer API and OpenAI's Codex coding tool, and only to companies whose participation has been shared with the US government. Sam Altman told OpenAI staff he hopes to release GPT 5.6 broadly within a couple of weeks. Analysts are estimating US-wide general availability around July the 10th to the 17th. Terra and Luna, the balanced and affordable variants, remain under the same restrictions. For context, this is the first time a US frontier AI model has launched under a government-curated access list. It is not a voluntary safety review. It is not a staged rollout for capacity reasons. It is a list of approved companies managed by the government. If your business was planning product launches, integrations, or capability upgrades around GPT 5.6, your timeline has shifted by 3 weeks at minimum. And the broader implication is that government-gated model access is no longer hypothetical. It is the new baseline for frontier releases. To understand why GPT 5.6 and Mythos are restricted, you need to understand the executive order behind it. On June the 2nd, President Trump signed an executive order titled Promoting Advanced Artificial Intelligence Innovation and Security. The key provision is a directive to design a voluntary framework under which AI developers grant the federal government access to frontier models for 30 days before public deployment. Agencies have until August the 1st to design this framework. The order is careful to state that nothing in the framework may be construed as authorizing a mandatory licensing or pre-clearance requirement. In other words, it is technically voluntary. But as we saw with GPT 5.6 and Mythos 5, the practical reality is that frontier AI labs are complying with government access requests regardless of whether they are mandatory. The order also directs expanded use of AI-enabled defensive cybersecurity tools and prioritizes enforcement against AI-enabled cybercrime. This is not abstract policy. It is the legal architecture that will determine who gets access to the most capable AI models, when they get access, and under what conditions. For Australian businesses, the key takeaway is straightforward. US AI regulation is now being set at the federal level through executive orders, not through state legislation. And the access controls established under this framework will have global downstream effects on when models reach international markets. John Jumper just made one of the most significant career moves in AI research. Jumper, who shared the 2024 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for co-leading the AlphaFold 2 team at Google DeepMind, announced on June the 20th that he is leaving after nearly 9 years to join Anthropic. AlphaFold 2 was one of the most consequential AI systems ever built. It solved the protein folding problem that had challenged biology for 50 years. Jumper did not just contribute to AlphaFold, he led it. His move to Anthropic aligns with the company's expanding push into life sciences and computational biology. In April, Anthropic paid $400 million in stock for Coefficient Bio, a stealth biotech startup. The pattern is clear. Anthropic is building a serious life sciences division. There is also a broader talent signal here. Data shows that DeepMind engineers are nearly 11-1 more likely to move to Anthropic than the reverse. When a Nobel Laureate chooses Anthropic over Google, it tells you where the most ambitious researchers believe the best work will happen next. For business operators, the implication is that Anthropic is positioning itself for markets well beyond chat and coding. If your business operates in healthcare, biotech, drug discovery, or any domain where biological computation matters, Anthropic just became a company to watch much more closely. Here is a regulation story that tells you exactly where US AI policy is heading. Colorado's AI Act was the first comprehensive state-level AI law in the United States. It regulated high-risk AI systems used in employment, education, housing, healthcare, financial services, and legal decisions. It was supposed to take effect on June the 30th, tomorrow. Instead, it was replaced before it could even come into force. Governor Polis signed Senate Bill 26-189 on May the 14th, which substantially revises the framework and delays implementation to January the 1st, 2027. The original law was effectively gutted. What triggered the retreat? Two things. First, a White House executive order in December 2025 that specifically named Colorado's AI Act as an example of problematic state regulation. Second, a federal magistrate judge who stayed enforcement in April 2026. The new law shifts from an EU-style algorithmic discrimination framework to a narrower focus on consumer notice, adverse outcome explanations, and meaningful human review. For businesses operating in or selling to the US market, this is significant. The federal government has demonstrated it can and will override state AI regulation. The patchwork of state laws that many compliance teams were preparing for is unlikely to materialize. Federal policy will set the rules. Qualcomm is in advanced talks to acquire Tenstorrent, the AI chip startup led by legendary chip architect Jim Keller, for between $8 and $10 billion. Tenstorrent is notable because it designs AI accelerators using the open RISC-V instruction set architecture. Unlike Nvidia's proprietary CUDA ecosystem, RISC-V is an open standard, which means any chip maker can build on it without licensing fees or vendor lock-in. The valuation has tripled in roughly 12 months. Just last year, Tenstorrent sought funding at a $3.2 billion valuation. Now, Qualcomm is reportedly willing to pay up to $10 billion. If completed, this would be one of the largest AI hardware acquisitions in history. It would give Qualcomm three things it desperately needs: a credible data center AI play, deep RISC-V expertise, and Jim Keller, the architect behind AMD's Zen chips, Apple's A-series processors, and multiple generations of Intel silicon. For the broader AI ecosystem, the strategic implications are significant. Nvidia's dominance in AI compute has been a single point of failure for the entire industry. A serious RISC-V alternative, backed by Qualcomm's manufacturing scale, could bring real competition to the AI chip market. And that means lower infrastructure costs for everyone building AI applications. And finally, Faham, the infrastructure story that explains where AI compute is heading. SpaceX has signed a computing power deal with open source AI startup Reflection AI worth up to $6.3 billion over 3.5 years. Reflection will pay $150 million per month starting July the 1st for access to Nvidia's latest GB300 chips at SpaceX's Colossus II data center in Memphis, Tennessee. Reflection AI was founded by former Google DeepMind researchers Misha Laskin and Ioannis Antonoglou. What makes this significant is the broader pattern. This deal follows earlier contracts where Anthropic pays SpaceX $1.25 billion per month and Google pays $920 million per month for compute access at the same facility. SpaceX has effectively become one of the largest AI compute platforms in the world, and it is not a cloud provider. It is what the industry is calling a neocloud, a purpose-built AI compute platform that bypasses traditional providers like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. For business operators, this signals a fundamental shift in AI infrastructure economics. The companies controlling the physical compute layer, the GPUs, the power, the cooling, are becoming as strategically important as the companies building the models. And some of those compute providers are now companies you would not have expected 2 years ago. Here is the thread connecting today's 7 stories. The AI industry is consolidating around 3 control points: models, compute, and regulation, and the entities controlling each of those layers are not who you might expect. Models are increasingly gated by government access lists, not product launches. Computers is being controlled by neoclouds like SpaceX's Colossus, not traditional cloud providers. And regulation is being set by federal executive orders that override state legislation before it can even take effect. For business operators, the practical takeaway is this: your AI strategy needs to account for all 3 layers. It is not enough to choose the right model. You need to understand who controls the compute your model runs on, what regulatory framework governs your access to that model, and how quickly any of those factors can change. The businesses that map these dependencies now, model provider, compute layer, regulatory exposure, will be the ones that adapt fastest when the next restriction, the next executive order, or the next infrastructure shift arrives. And based on the pace of the last 3 weeks, that will not be long. That is your AI news for Sunday, the 29th of June, 2026. If you found this useful, hit subscribe. We do this every single day, so you never fall behind. For deeper analysis and tools to help you implement AI in your business, head to BizThriveAI. Link is in the description. I will see you in the next one.